After the war, sociologist Nik interviewed a number of people who had lived throughout the war in Poland. Here is the story of Stefa, a factory worker. It all began in the summer of 1942, when Stefa's husband Jerzy brought home a young Jewish woman named Irina. A policeman involved in the Polish underground had asked him to hide her for a few days. The woman looked too Jewish to pass for a Christian, so the couple decided to keep her concealed in the one-room apartment they shared with their infant child. To shield her from unexpected visitors, they pushed a free-standing wardrobe a few inches from the wall. The space between the wall and the wardrobe became the woman's hiding place. A few days stretched to a week, and the week in turn became a month, and still the unexpected guest remained. The policeman was unable to find another hiding place for her. After several months, Jerzy demanded that Irina leave. His wife Stefa, however, insisted that the woman stay. The quarrel ended with Jerzy stomping out of the apartment and vowing to denounce both Irina and his wife. Stefa'S story continues. I called Leminski the policeman, and he went to talk to my husband. He told him, "Here is my pistol. If you will denounce them, you will not live more than 5 minutes longer. The first bullet will go into your head." After that my husband stopped coming. This ended my marriage. But Leminski continued to come, helping us, warning us about danger. He never abandoned us. Sure, I knew. Everybody knew what could happen to someone who kept Jews. Sometimes when it got dangerous, Irina herself would say, "I am such a burden to you, I will leave." But I said, "Listen, until now you were here and we succeeded, so maybe now all will succeed. How can you give yourself up?" I knew that I could not let her go. The longer she was there, the closer we became. Then in 1944 the people of Warsaw rebelled against the Germans. As the fighting spread, it became too dangerous to stay in the apartment. So Irina bandaged her face and Stefa introduced her to her neighbours as a cousin who had just arrived in the city. When the Germans finally put down the rising, a new threat developed. Irina later described it to a commission. Before the end of the war there was a tragic moment. We learned that the Germans were about to evacuate all civilians. My appearance on the streets, even with my bandaged face, could end tragically. Stefa decided to take a bold step which I will remember as long as I live. She gave me her baby to protect me. The Germans did not evacuate mothers with young children. As she was leaving me with her child, she told me that the child would save me, and after the war I would give him back to her. But in case of her death, she was convinced that I would take good care of him. Eventually, we both stayed. What could I do? Even a dog you get used to, and especially a fine person like she was. I could not act any other way. I would have helped anyone. It did not matter who she was. After all, I did not know her at first, but I helped and could not send her away. I always try to help as best I can.